So how did you get on with the challenge? Well, there's of course quite a few ways of solving this challenge, and one of the simplest is by using some if and else statements. So we could check to see if the hardness that the user selected, which is captured in our constant here, is equal to soft. So remember, this is going to correspond to the title of the button that was pressed, and our buttons are named soft, medium, and hard with a capitalized first letter. So if the hardness was soft, so if the soft button was pressed, then we probably want to print the soft time. Now, else if the hardness that was selected was equal to medium with a capital M, then in that case, we should probably print the medium time. And finally, we have an else statement that captures the last condition. Because there are only 3 buttons, it can only be the hard button that got pressed, so we'll print the hard time. Now, an alternative to this is we could have also used a Swift switch statement. So we could have switched on our hardness value, so this string, and if the case was that it was equal to soft, well, in that case we should print the soft time, and if the case was equal to medium, then we could print the medium time. And either through the use of the default, which of course we can only have 3 options, we could print our hard time. Alternatively, we could add another case and make the default catch exceptions, where for some reason or other we have a button that's triggering this IB action whose title is not equal to soft, medium, or hard. So in that case, we could add another case, hard, and this one would print hard time, and this one would print error. So both of these work, and if you used either of these solutions, then consider yourself successful and you've solved the challenge. But there's actually an even shorter way of performing this action. Instead of using these 3 constants where they're just holding a single piece of data, we could also just capture them all in a single dictionary. So let's create a dictionary, and I'm going to create the dictionary as a constant, so using the let. And then I'm going to call it egg times. So this is the name of my dictionary. And then I'm going to set it to equal a set of square brackets. Now, this might seem familiar to you because we've already used square brackets when we were learning about arrays. But there is another type of collection that we could use, and it's a dictionary. Similar to a real-world dictionary, you have a key, so for example, a word that you were looking up in the dictionary, and let's say that word was soft, and then you have a corresponding matching value. So for the soft word, in our case, the value is going to be equal to 5. For the medium string, well, our value is going to be 7, and for the hard string, our value is going to be 12. So we've basically done exactly the same thing as what we had before, soft time, medium time, and hard time, but now we have it captured in a single dictionary. And at this point, I want to pose another challenge for you. If you have seen dictionaries before in other programming languages, or if you already know about it from Swift, then you should be able to use this egg time dictionary to print out the correct time for the hardness that's selected. So we know that we can capture the title of the button that got pressed. I want you to replace this switch statement or the if statement that you currently have with a way of pulling out the values from our dictionary based on the keys we've got here. This challenge will require you to know a little bit about both dictionaries and optionals. So if you know how to complete this challenge and you've managed to use the dictionary to print out the correct time for the button that's selected, then feel free to skip the next lesson on our Swift deep dive. But if you don't know how to complete this challenge, or if you've never seen dictionaries, you want to learn more about Swift dictionaries, then head over to the next lesson where we're going to do a deep dive on Swift dictionaries.